Welcome to Module 3 of Regenerative Orthopedics for Arthritis. Today we explore autologous regenerative therapies, specifically PRP and PRF, your patient's own healing pharmacy. In previous modules, you learned that osteoarthritis is a signaling disorder and how it progresses through molecular stages. Now we'll discover how to harvest your patient's own regenerative signal somes from their blood and deploy them strategically to restore joint health. By the end of this module, you'll understand the science behind platelet therapies, master preparation protocols, and learn how to match these treatments to specific disease stages for optimal regenerative outcomes. Section 1, the platelet revolution. The story of platelet therapy begins in the 1970s with maxillofacial surgeons who noticed accelerated bone healing when using platelet concentrates. But it took 40 years to understand why. Platelets aren't just for clotting, they're mobile regenerative factories. Each platelet contains 3 types of granules packed with over 300 bioactive proteins. When activated, platelets undergo a remarkable transformation. They change shape, extend pseudopodia, and release their precious cargo of growth factors, cytokines, and chemokines, essentially deploying a complete regenerative signal ohm. This isn't random release, it's a precisely orchestrated molecular symphony. Transforming growth factor beta-1 initiates matrix synthesis. Platelet-derived growth factor recruits stem cells. Vascular endothelial growth factor creates new blood vessels. Insulin-like growth factor 1 prevents cell death and promotes proliferation. Remember the signal-ohm imbalance from Module 1? PRP and PRF deliver concentrated doses of regenerative signal somes that can tip the balance back toward healing. Section 2, PRP. Platelet-rich plasma fundamentals. Platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, is autologous blood plasma with platelet concentrations 5 to 10 times above baseline. If normal blood contains 150,000 to 400,000 platelets per microliter, therapeutic PRP contains 1 to 2 million. The science begins with centrifugation physics. Red blood cells, being heaviest, sink to the bottom. Plasma rises to the top. Platelets and white blood cells form a narrow, buffy coat layer between them. Single-spin protocols separate components but yield lower concentrations. Double-spin protocols, first separating red cells, then concentrating platelets, achieve therapeutic levels. Therapeutic PRP contains more than just platelets. You're harvesting a complete regenerative cocktail: platelets for growth factors, white blood cells for immunomodulation, plasma proteins for scaffolding, and fibrinogen for matrix formation. PRP releases 70% of its growth factors within the first hour, a massive regenerative surge. The remaining 30% releases over 7 days, maintaining the therapeutic signal. At the molecular level, PRP growth factors bind specific receptors, activating regenerative signal somes. Transforming growth factor beta activates SMAD2/3 for matrix production. Insulin-like growth factor 1 triggers phosphoinositide 3 kinase, protein kinase B pathway for cell survival. Platelet-derived growth factor stimulates chemotaxis and mitogenesis. Section 3, PRF, the next evolution. Platelet-rich fibrin, or PRF, represents the next evolution in platelet therapy. Instead of using anticoagulants, PRF harnesses the body's natural fibrin network. PRF uses slower centrifugation, 700 to 1500 RPM versus 3500 RPM for PRP. This gentle separation preserves platelet integrity and maintains the natural fibrin architecture. Under electron microscopy, PRF reveals a 3-dimensional fibrin mesh that traps platelets, white blood cells, and stem cells. Think of it as biological scaffolding loaded with regenerative signals. Here's the critical difference. While PRP delivers a growth factor burst, PRF provides sustained release over 14 to 28 days. The fibrin matrix acts like a time-release capsule. PRF preserves growth factor activity better than PRP. Without anticoagulant interference, growth factors maintain their native conformation and biological activity. PRF naturally concentrates beneficial white blood cells within the fibrin network. Monocytes for immunomodulation, lymphocytes for adaptive immunity, all working synergistically with platelets. PRF offers several clinical advantages. No anticoagulants needed, longer therapeutic window, better growth factor preservation, natural scaffold provision, and enhanced stem cell capture. Section 4, Preparation Protocols and Optimization. Optimal results begin before blood draw. Patient preparation is crucial for platelet quality and concentration. 7 days before treatment, discontinue medications that impair platelet function. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs inhibit platelet aggregation. Aspirin irreversibly blocks thromboxane production. Even fish oil affects platelet membranes. 48 hours before, ensure optimal hydration. Dehydration concentrates red cells, making separation difficult and reducing platelet yield. Optimize platelet health through nutrition. Vitamin C for collagen synthesis, B12 and folate for platelet production. Omega-3s for membrane health. Iron for oxygen transport. Proper venipuncture technique preserves platelet integrity. Use 18 to 21 gauge needles. Smaller gauges cause shear stress. Draw smoothly to prevent turbulence. Gentle tube inversion prevents activation. Centrifugation parameters vary by system. For PRP, first spin at 1200 G for 10 minutes, second spin at 2000 G for 10 minutes. For PRF, single spin at 700 G for 12 minutes. Temperature affects platelet function. Maintain samples at room temperature. Cooling activates platelets prematurely. Heating denatures proteins. PRP can be activated exogenously for immediate release. 10% calcium chloride triggers clotting cascade. Thrombin causes instant gelation. Collagen provides physiologic activation. Always verify product quality. Platelet counts should exceed 1 million per microliter. Microscopy should show intact, non-aggregated platelets. pH should remain between 7.0 and 7.4. Section 5, Stage-specific application strategies. Not all stages respond equally to platelet therapy. Success requires matching treatment to molecular pathology. Stage 1, early inflammatory, use leukocyte-poor PRP to avoid excessive inflammation. Single injection often sufficient. Growth factors restore insulin-like growth factor 1 signaling and boost microRNA 140. In stage 1, mild signal ohm disruption responds to gentle nudging. PRP's insulin-like growth factor 1 and transforming growth factor beta counteract early interleukin-1 beta elevation. Think of it as course correction, not rescue. Stage 2, catabolic amplification. Deploy leukocyte-rich PRP for immunomodulation. Consider weekly injections for 3 weeks. The inflammatory cascade requires sustained opposition. Stage 2 benefits from combination therapy. Pre-treat with A2M to neutralize proteases, then deliver PRP to activate regeneration. It's like clearing debris before rebuilding. Stage 3, fibrotic remodeling, PRF becomes preferable to PRP. The sustained release opposes ongoing fibrosis. The fibrin scaffold provides structural support to damaged tissue. Stage 3 requires comprehensive treatment. Inject intra-articularly for cartilage, peri-articularly for ligaments and capsule. Consider subchondral drilling for bone marrow stimulation. Stage 4, end stage. Platelet therapy alone, rarely sufficient. Combine with MSCs and PDPA. Multiple treatment cycles needed. Set realistic expectations, improvement, not cure. Injection volumes vary by joint. Knee 4 to 8 milliliters, hip 3 to 5 milliliters, shoulder 3 to 4 milliliters, ankle 2 to 3 milliliters. Adjust based on effusion presence. Section 6, bioelectric enhancement of platelet therapy. Here's a revolutionary insight from the American Arthritis Foundation. Cellular voltage directly affects growth factor receptor sensitivity. Proper transmembrane voltage, typically negative 70 to 90 millivolts, optimizes growth factor receptor expression and trafficking. Depolarized cells can't respond effectively to PRP signals. Pre-treat joints with microcurrent 15 minutes before PRP injection. Frequency-specific microcurrent at 40 Hz normalizes cellular voltage, preparing cells to receive growth factor signals. Clinical data shows 40% better outcomes when PRP is preceded by voltage normalization. Patients report faster pain relief and improved function. Think of it as tuning a radio before broadcasting. Voltage normalization ensures cellular receivers are properly tuned to receive PRP's regenerative signals. Follow PRP with pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, 8 to 15 Hz, 2 to 3 millitesla daily for 2 weeks. This maintains voltage coherence during the critical healing window. Section 7, injection techniques and guidance. Precision delivery maximizes outcomes. Ultrasound guidance ensures accurate placement and avoids critical structures. For knee injections, position the probe medially or laterally in long axis. Visualize the suprapatellar pouch, identify fluid or synovitis, and plan your approach. Use in-plane technique for best needle visualization. Align needle parallel to probe. Maintain shallow angle, typically 30 to 45 degrees. Watch the needle tip throughout advancement. Target selection depends on pathology. Early stages focus on synovium and cartilage surface. Advanced stages include subchondral bone and periarticular structures. Consider multiple injection sites for comprehensive treatment. Medial compartment, lateral compartment, patellofemoral joint, Hoffa's fat pad for stem cell activation. Inject slowly over 30 to 60 seconds. Rapid injection causes pain and may disrupt delicate regenerative processes. Allow PRP to distribute naturally through joint spaces. Post-injection positioning matters. Cycle the joint through range of motion to distribute PRP. Then maintain slight flexion for 10 minutes to maximize cartilage contact time. Section 8. Post-treatment protocols and optimization. Post-treatment protocols significantly impact outcomes. The first 48 hours are critical for platelet adhesion and initial growth factor release. Encourage movement without loading. Gentle range of motion maintains synovial fluid circulation. Avoid weight-bearing exercise for 48 to 72 hours. No anti-inflammatories for 4 weeks post-treatment. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs interfere with the beneficial inflammatory cascade triggered by PRP. Some inflammation is necessary for regeneration. Week 1, range of motion only. Week 2, isometric strengthening. Week 3 to 4, progressive resistance. Week 5 to 6, return to activities. Adjust based on stage and response. Support healing with targeted nutrition. Vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams daily for collagen synthesis. Glucosamine, 1,500 milligrams for glycosaminoglycan production. Omega-3s, 2 to 4 grams for inflammation modulation. Track treatment response clinically and molecularly. Pain scores should improve by week 2. Function by week 4. Consider cytokine reassessment at week 8 to confirm signal ohm improvement. Section 9. Troubleshooting and optimizing outcomes. When PRP fails, there's usually a reason. Poor patient selection. Inadequate platelet concentration. Improper activation. Missing combination therapies. Verify your PRP quality. Platelet count below 1 million. Inadequate concentration. pH below 7.0. Platelet dysfunction, visible aggregation, premature activation. Patient factors matter. Diabetes impairs platelet function. Smoking reduces growth factor activity. Chronic steroids suppress healing. Address these before treatment. Know when PRP isn't enough. Stage 2 with high proteases. Add A2M first. Stage 3 with fibrosis. Combine with PRF and hyaluronic acid. Stage 4, consider MSCs and PDPA. Some patients need multiple treatments. If partial response at 6 weeks, repeat injection. If no response, reassess diagnosis and consider advanced biologics. Factors predicting success: stage 1 to 2 disease, age under 65, BMI under 30, no diabetes, good baseline cartilage, motivated for rehabilitation. Section 10, key takeaways. Let's consolidate your mastery of platelet therapies. First, PRP provides growth factor surge while PRF offers sustained release. Choose based on clinical needs. Second, platelet therapies work by delivering concentrated regenerative signal sums that restore molecular balance. Third, match treatment to disease stage. Early stages need gentle rebalancing. Advanced stages require aggressive multimodal approaches. Fourth, pre-treatment voltage normalization enhances platelet therapy effectiveness by 40%. Fifth, success depends on preparation quality, precise delivery, and proper post-treatment protocols. Congratulations, you've mastered autologous platelet therapies. You now understand how to harvest and deploy your patient's own regenerative potential. Next, in Module 4, we'll explore advanced biologics, PDPA, PDPC, and cellular products that provide even more powerful regenerative signals. Let's assess your understanding with 5 questions on PRP and PRF therapy. Question 1. What is the optimal platelet concentration for therapeutic PRP? Is it A, 100,000 per microliter, B, 500,000 per microliter, C, 1 to 2 million per microliter, or D, 5 million per microliter? Question 2. How long does PRF release growth factors compared to PRP? Is it A, 1 to 2 days, B, 3 to 5 days, C, 7 to 10 days, or D, 14 to 28 days? Question 3. What is the recommended centrifugation speed for PRF preparation? Is it A, 700 to 1500 RPM, B, 2000 to 2500 RPM, C, 3000 to 3500 RPM, or D, 4000 to 4500 RPM? Question 4. Which OA stage responds best to leukocyte-poor PRP? Is it A, stage 1 early inflammatory, B, stage 2 catabolic, C, stage 3 fibrotic, or D, stage 4 end stage? Question 5. Microcurrent pretreatment improves PRP outcomes by approximately what percentage? Is it A, 10%, B, 25%, C, 40%, or D, 60%? Excellent work. You've completed Module 3 and demonstrated proficiency in autologous platelet therapies. Remember, every patient carries their own regenerative pharmacy in their bloodstream. Your role is to harvest, concentrate, and deploy these healing signals strategically. With PRP and PRF, you're not adding foreign substances, you're amplifying the body's own voice of healing.